The awakening of silence. The edge of the Sol system had always been quiet. For decades, humanity had watched the stars, listened to the void, and waited. The greater galactic community had viewed Earth with dismissive indifference, a backwater planet filled with primitive beings who had barely scratched the surface of space travel. They were wrong. Commander Elena Volkov stood on the observation deck of the Quantum Horizon, humanity's most advanced stealth cruiser. Her steel-gray eyes reflected the distant stars as she monitored the subtle energy signatures that flickered across her screens. Something was changing in the cosmic dance, and she could feel it in her bones. "Commander," Lieutenant Marcus Chen called from his station, "we're picking up unusual subspace fluctuations near the Oort cloud. Pattern suggests deliberate manipulation." Elena nodded slowly, her weathered face betraying no emotion. She had spent 20 years preparing for this moment. Earth had played the long game, feigning weakness while developing technologies that would rival the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. The time for hiding was coming to an end. "Alert the Council," she ordered, "and activate Protocol Omega. It's time to wake the sleeping fleet." In the depths of Earth's oceans, beneath the polar ice caps, and hidden in plain sight within asteroid fields, humanity's greatest secret stirred to life. Ships that defied conventional design principles powered up their revolutionary quantum drives, engineered from principles the rest of the galaxy had dismissed as theoretical impossibilities. The Dominion Empire, rulers of a third of known space, had grown arrogant in their supremacy. Their warships, massive crystalline structures powered by harvested star cores, patrolled the space lanes with impunity. They had conquered countless worlds, subjugated entire species, and now they turned their attention to Earth. The transmission came without warning, broadcast on all frequencies. "Inhabitants of Earth, your isolation ends today. The Dominion claims your system for resource extraction. Surrender immediately or face annihilation. You have one solar rotation to comply." In the emergency session of Earth's United Defense Council, the room buzzed with tension. Admiral Sarah Martinez, head of the Terran Void Command, stood before the assembled leaders, her voice steady and resolute. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've prepared for this day. The Dominion expects submission from what they perceive as a primitive species. They don't know about our quantum fleet, our dimensional shields, or our mastery of artificial gravity manipulation. Let's show them the price of underestimating humanity." The vote was unanimous. Earth would not surrender. Across the planet, citizens watched as ships they never knew existed rose from hidden locations. Sleek vessels that seemed to bend light around them, carriers that housed swarms of AI-assisted fighters, and battleships equipped with weapons that manipulated fundamental forces rather than relying on crude energy projectiles. Elena took command of the Vanguard fleet, her ship leading a formation of 12 advanced cruisers. The quantum drives engage, propelling them through folded space-time toward the Dominion Armada gathering at the system's edge. "All hands, this is Commander Volkov," she broadcast across the fleet. "Today, we show the galaxy that humanity's silence was not weakness, it was preparation. We fight not just for Earth, but for every species that has suffered under Dominion oppression. Let them remember this day as the moment they discovered the true nature of human resilience." The Dominion fleet consisted of 50 warships, each larger than anything humanity had officially acknowledged building. Their commander, Supreme Executor Zaxthul, watched the approaching human vessels with amusement through his multifaceted eyes. "These primitives dare to challenge us," he scoffed to his bridge crew. "Prepare primary weapons. We'll vaporize their pathetic fleet as an example to others who might consider resistance." But as the human ships drew closer, Zaxthul's confidence wavered. These vessels moved unlike anything he had encountered, seeming to slip between dimensions, their energy signatures constantly shifting and adapting. When they opened fire, the Dominion shields, designed to deflect plasma and kinetic weapons, proved useless against humanity's quantum entanglement disruptors. The battle had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Elena directed her fleet with precision, born from years of simulation and preparation. Human ships darted through space with impossible agility, their gravity drives allowing maneuvers that should have torn conventional vessels apart. The Dominion's massive warships, built for overwhelming firepower, found themselves outmaneuvered and outsmarted at every turn. "Target their command nodes with dimensional shears," Elena ordered. "Let's see how they handle a taste of non-Euclidean warfare." The human weapons created localized tiers in spacetime, disrupting the Dominion ship systems and causing cascading failures throughout their fleets. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion found themselves on the defensive. As the battle raged, Earth's true capabilities were revealed. Ships that could phase through solid matter, weapons that manipulated probability itself, and shields that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. The technologies humanity had developed in secret far surpassed anything the galactic community had imagined possible. Lieutenant Chen monitored the tactical displays, amazement evident in his voice. "Commander, their fleet is attempting to retreat. Should we pursue?" Elena considered for a moment before responding. "Negative. Let them run. Let them spread the word of what happened here today. The galaxy needs to know that Earth will no longer be ignored or underestimated." As the surviving Dominion ships fled the system, emergency broadcasts began flooding the galactic networks. News of Earth's shocking victory spread like wildfire, reaching civilizations across thousands of light years. The quiet backwater planet had revealed itself as a sleeping giant, awakened and ready to reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted across every continent. Humanity had not only defended their home, but had announced their presence on the galactic stage in the most dramatic way possible. The age of human isolation was over, replaced by a new era of possibility and challenge. Elena stood on her bridge, watching the retreating Dominion vessels disappear into quantum tunnels. She knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy would respond to this upset in the established order, and humanity would need to be ready for whatever came next. "Status report," she requested. "All systems nominal, Commander," Chen replied. "The fleet is intact, and Earth defense grid remains at full capacity. We've also intercepted multiple diplomatic transmissions from other civilizations, requesting audience with Earth's leadership." Elena allowed herself a small smile. Interesting how quickly attitudes change when you demonstrate strength. Maintain defensive positions and prepare for Phase 2. This was just our introduction. Now we show them what humanity is truly capable of. As the first part of the conflict concluded, Earth stood victorious but vigilant. The silence had been broken, and the galaxy would soon learn that humanity's greatest strength lay not just in their technology, but in their indomitable spirit and capacity for innovation. The quiet observers had become active participants, and the cosmic game would never be the same. The storm unleashed. 3 days after the initial confrontation, the galactic response began in earnest. The Dominion Empire, humiliated by their defeat, assembled their largest armada in recorded history. 500 warships, drawn from across their vast territories, converged on the Sol system. But humanity had anticipated this escalation. Elena Volkov stood in the war room aboard the orbital defense platform Terra Prime, surrounded by holographic displays showing the approaching Dominion fleet. Admiral Martins and other military leaders participated via quantum-entangled communication channels. "They're bringing everything they have," Elena observed, "including their planet crackers and singularity generators. They intend to make an example of us." Admiral Martinez's image flickered slightly before stabilizing. "Then we give them the full demonstration. Activate the Tesla array and prepare the Dyson swarm. It's time to show them why picking a fight with humanity was their greatest mistake." Around the sun, billions of previously dormant satellites began to activate. These weren't ordinary solar collectors, but components of humanity's most ambitious project, a partial Dyson swarm that could harness and weaponize the sun's energy. The Tesla array, named after the legendary inventor, was designed to channel this power into devastating defensive capabilities. The Dominion fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their crystalline ships glittering like deadly jewels against the void. Supreme Executor Zaxthul had been demoted after the previous failure and replaced by War Master Krulnash, a veteran of 1,000 conquests. All ships maintain formation, Krulnash commanded. These humans may have surprised us once, but they cannot stand against the full might of the Dominion. Begin planetary bombardment protocols. But as the Dominion ships advanced, they encountered something unprecedented. Space itself seemed to warp and twist around Earth, creating a labyrinth of gravitational anomalies and temporal distortions. Human ships, adapted to navigate these artificial phenomena, struck from impossible angles before vanishing into quantum tunnels. War Master, our targeting systems are failing, reported the tactical officer. The humans have somehow altered local space-time geometry. Before Krulnash could respond, the Tesla array activated. Streams of concentrated solar energy, focused through quantum lenses, sliced through the Dominion formation like brilliant swords of light. Ships that had withstood nova blasts were cut apart with surgical precision. Elena coordinated the human response with cold efficiency. Deploy the swarm fighters. Target their communication nodes and power distribution systems. Let's show them what distributed warfare looks like. Millions of autonomous drones, each no larger than a human fist, emerged from hidden carriers. These swarm units operated with collective intelligence, adapting their tactics in real time and overwhelming the Dominion's point defense systems through sheer numbers and unpredictability. The battle evolved into something the galaxy had never witnessed. Human creativity and adaptability clashed with Dominion brute force and traditional tactics. Where the aliens relied on massive ships and overwhelming firepower, humanity employed guerrilla tactics on a cosmic scale. Lieutenant Chen highlighted a cluster of enemy ships on the tactical display. Commander, they're attempting to form a singularity weapon. If they succeed. They won't, Elena interrupted. Activate the quantum entanglement disruptors. Let's introduce them to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle on a macro scale. The human countermeasure created zones of quantum uncertainty around the Dominion ships, attempting to generate the singularity. Matter became probabilistic rather than deterministic, causing the weapon to collapse before it could form. The resulting energy backlash crippled a dozen enemy vessels. As the battle raged, humanity revealed more of their hidden arsenal. Ships equipped with temporal shields that aged incoming projectiles to dust, weapons that converted enemy vessels into antimatter, and perhaps most frighteningly, the ability to manipulate dark energy itself. The turning point came when Earth's moon revealed its true nature. What the galaxy had assumed was a natural satellite was actually humanity's largest military installation, hollowed out and converted into a massive weapons platform over decades of secret construction. Luna Base, you are cleared to engage, Elena authorized. Show them the price of threatening our home. The moon's surface split open, revealing arrays of weapons that defied conventional understanding. Graviton beams that could crush ships into singularities, quantum field manipulators that could rewrite the laws of physics locally, and most devastating of all, the reality anchor, a device that could stabilize or destabilize space-time at will. Krulnash watched in horror as his fleet was systematically dismantled. This is impossible. No species advances this quickly. They were using stone tools mere millennia ago. His science officer trembled as he responded. War Master, our analysis suggests the humans have been deliberately concealing their capabilities for centuries. They've been studying us, learning from us, and developing countermeasures for every weapon in our arsenal. The Dominion fleet attempted to retreat, but found their hyperspace corridors collapsed by human gravity mines. Trapped in normal space, they faced the full fury of humanity's unleashed potential. Elena opened a channel to the Dominion flagship. War Master Krulnash, this is Commander Volkov of Earth's Defense Force. You came to our system expecting to find primitive creatures cowering before your might. Instead, you found a species that turned adversity into strength, isolation into innovation. Surrender now, and we'll show you the mercy you never showed others. Krulnash's pride battled with his survival instinct. Around him, his mighty fleet was being reduced to scrap metal by weapons that seemed to violate the fundamental laws of the universe. The reality anchor had just erased 3 of his battleships from existence, leaving no debris, no energy signature, nothing but empty space where they had been. "We yield," he transmitted, the words like poison on his tongue. The Dominion fleet surrenders to Earth. The remaining Dominion ships powered down their weapons and shields, signaling their capitulation. But humanity's demonstration wasn't complete. Elena knew that for Earth to secure its place in the galactic community, they needed to show not just strength, but wisdom. "War Master, you and your crews will be treated according to the conventions of warfare. Unlike the Dominion, we don't believe in the wholesale slaughter of defeated enemies. You'll be detained, your ship studied, and eventually, you'll be returned to your empire with a message." "What message?" Krulnash asked, his voice heavy with defeat. "That humanity extends the hand of friendship to those who approach in peace, but we are the storm itself to those who come with threats. The galaxy has a choice: coexist with us as equals, or face the consequences of underestimating us again." As the Dominion fleet was escorted to holding positions around Mars, the galactic community reeled from the implications. Earth hadn't just defended itself. It had demonstrated technological superiority that challenged the established order of civilizations millions of years old. Across the galaxy, emergency sessions convened in the capitals of every major power. The Consortium of Elder Races, the Free Worlds Alliance, the Synthetic Collective, all reassessed their positions regarding the small blue planet that had just humbled the most powerful military force in known space. Elena returned to her command ship, exhausted but satisfied. The storm had been unleashed, and humanity had proven itself not just capable of survival, but of reshaping the destiny of the galaxy itself. As she looked out at the stars, she knew this was only the beginning of humanity's journey into a larger universe, one that would never again make the mistake of underestimating Earth's children. Part 3. The Echo of Defiance. The aftermath of the Dominion's defeat sent shockwaves through every corner of the galaxy. On the ancient world of Nexus Prime, seat of the Galactic Council, representatives from thousands of civilizations gathered for an emergency session. For the first time in recorded history, Earth had been invited to send a delegation. Ambassador David Chen, no relation to Lieutenant Chen, stood before the vast assembly. His calm demeanor belied the magnitude of the moment. Humanity's formal introduction to galactic society, not as supplicants or subjects, but as equals who had earned their place through strength. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," he began, his words translated into countless languages simultaneously. "Earth comes before you not as conquerors, but as neighbors who have finally chosen to open our doors. We seek neither dominion nor submission, but mutual respect and cooperation." High Chancellor Vorthresh of the Aurelian Republic, one of the oldest spacefaring species, responded with barely concealed concern. "Ambassador Chen, your people have demonstrated capabilities that surpass civilizations millions of years your senior. How did you achieve such advancement in mere centuries?" David smiled slightly. "With respect, Chancellor, we didn't advance in centuries. We've been advancing for millions of years, just not in ways you recognized. While you looked to the stars, we looked inward, to the quantum realm, to the nature of consciousness, to the fundamental codes of reality itself. What you saw as primitive tool use was actually the foundation of our understanding." The revelation sparked murmurs throughout the assembly. The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just caught up to galactic civilization. They had been developing along an entirely different technological path. Back in Earth's solar system, Elena Volkov oversaw the integration of captured Dominion technology with human systems. The fusion of approaches yielded even more powerful innovations, but she remained focused on defense rather than expansion. "Commander, we're receiving priority communications from the Korathi hegemony," reported Lieutenant Wang. They're requesting military alliance against the Dominion's remaining territories. Elena shook her head, declined politely. We're not interested in becoming galactic police or kingmakers. Our strength is for defense, not conquest. But the galaxy had other plans. The power vacuum created by the Dominion's defeat led to conflicts across multiple sectors. Oppressed species rose against their masters. Pirates seized disputed territories, and ancient rivalries reignited. Appeals for Earth's intervention flooded in from all quarters. 3 months after the Dominion's surrender, a crisis emerged that would define humanity's role in galactic affairs. The Void Harbingers, a mysterious species from beyond the galactic rim, launched a massive invasion. These beings wielded technology that manipulated dark matter itself, rendering conventional defenses useless. The Galactic Council, facing extinction, turned to Earth in desperation. High Chancellor Vorthresh himself traveled to the Sol system to make the appeal in person. Ambassador Chen was right. He admitted to Elena during a private meeting aboard Terra Prime. We misjudged your species catastrophically. Now we face an enemy that threatens all life in the galaxy. Will Earth stand by while civilization falls? Elena studied the alien leader carefully. We'll help, but on our terms. This won't be Earth fighting your war. It will be all of us fighting together. We'll share our technology, train your forces, and coordinate a united response. The age of one species dominating others ends now. The coalition that formed was unprecedented. Human engineers worked alongside Dominion scientists, teaching them to think beyond conventional physics. Aurelian philosophers collaborated with Earth's quantum theorists to develop new frameworks for understanding reality. The synthetic collective contributed their vast computational power to simulate battle strategies. When the combined fleet engaged the Void Harbingers, it was humanity's unconventional thinking that proved decisive. While others tried to match the invaders' dark matter weapons with brute force, human scientists proposed a radical solution. Use the quantum entanglement network to create a galaxy-wide consciousness that could collectively alter reality at the quantum level. It's not about fighting them, Elena explained during the strategy session. It's about changing the rules of the game entirely. We make their weapons conceptually impossible within our local reality. The plan required perfect synchronization across millions of ships and trillions of beings. Every sapient mind in the galaxy would need to focus simultaneously on reshaping the fundamental nature of space-time. It was audacious, seemingly impossible, and purely human in its conception. At the designated moment, Elena gave the order. All units, initiate quantum consciousness merge. Let's rewrite reality. The effect was instantaneous and universe-altering. The Void Harbingers' dark matter weapons simply ceased to function, their ships trapped in a reality that no longer supported their technology. Faced with conventional warfare, they retreated beyond the galactic rim, leaving behind questions about their origins and motives that would puzzle scholars for generations. In the aftermath, the galaxy faced a new paradigm. Earth's intervention had saved countless civilizations, but more importantly, it had demonstrated a new way forward: cooperation over domination, innovation over tradition, and the power of diverse thinking over rigid hierarchy. The Galactic Council reformed with Earth as a permanent member, but humanity declined a leadership position. Instead, they proposed a new structure where decisions were made collectively, with no single species holding supremacy over others. We've learned from our own history, Ambassador Chen explained. True strength comes from unity and diversity, not from imposing uniformity. Let each species contribute their unique perspectives and capabilities. Elena Volkov retired from active service, but her legacy lived on in the Terran Void Academy, where beings from across the galaxy came to learn not just human technology, but human approaches to problem-solving and innovation. Standing on the observation deck of the Academy's orbital campus, she watched ships from 100 different species come and go. Lieutenant Marcus Chen, now Admiral Chen, joined her. "Do you ever regret revealing our capabilities?" he asked. Elena smiled. "No, hiding was necessary for our development, but isolation would have stunted our growth eventually. The galaxy needed to be shocked out of its complacency, and we needed to engage with the wider universe. We just did it on our terms. And now we face the future together, all of us. The greatest challenges lie beyond our galaxy, and we'll need every species working together to meet them. As if to emphasize her point, a ship unlike any they had seen before emerged from a quantum tunnel. Its design incorporated elements from dozens of species, a testament to the new age of cooperation Earth had initiated. The age of silence was over. The age of human isolation had ended, but the age of exploration, innovation, and unity was just beginning. Earth had not just joined the galactic community, it had transformed it, proving that sometimes the quietest voices, when finally raised, speak with the greatest power. The stars beckoned with infinite possibilities, and humanity stood ready to explore them all, not as conquerors or subjects, but as catalysts for a new era of galactic civilization. They had believed Earth would stay silent, but when humanity finally spoke, the universe itself listened and changed forever. Retroclaude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.